Start the morning with coffee in your cup. Time to hang out with friends and chat it up. Bring a smile and good luck. Hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me. Good morning, welcome to the morning coffee show. Let's talk from in the shell and share good vibes and good times. Friends and friends that bend the senses. Let's get a bit senseless. Welcome to the morning coffee show, where we bring good vibes and good times. Welcome to the morning coffee show with Super Fast Tortoise. Welcome to the morning coffee show, where we have the flow. Good vibes from head to toe. Start the morning.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Super Fast Tortoise in the Show morning coffee show, where you are welcome to say what you want in chat and let us know how you are doing. Give us a hi, give us a hello. How are you guys doing today? We got HILLBILLY, we got Captain Waffles, and Lone Wolf. Lone Wolf.
Syrup noises.
Syrup noises. That can sound inappropriate over the mic. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the show. Oh man, we got Captain Waffles here today. We're excited to have him. He's been stepping out of Magic a little lately, and for good reason. Good reason, and it's been interesting because I think a lot of stuff has been happening with Magic that's been kind of pushing maybe just boomers away, but I know a lot of young people who are pissing on Magic because Spider-Man sucks and blah 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 blah. But sometimes you grow out of things. Sometimes you have to. Sometimes responsibility gets to you, and it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But whatever.
I'm a little offended. I'm only 38. I'm not a boomer.
You're only 38. You're only what? 3 years younger than me. and may I say more successful than I am, so congratulations on that.
Yeah, and you were about 20 years younger than me.
But yeah, well, look at this. Is Magic really feasible to play, to get into anymore? I mean, my family got into Warhammer for a brief moment. You know how expensive that shit was? It was expensive. I have an army that was worth $500.
Wow.
Just to get in, right? That's the cost of figurines, that's the cost of painting. That's not even including the time it took me to paint the figures, right? It was an investment, a huge investment to get into. And with the prices of some of the product, collector boxes and stuff, it's starting to feel the same way for Magic. Is it worth it to get into Magic if you're paying $500-$600 for a collector booster box where you get the cool special treatments? I mean, you don't have to paint stuff, but is it feasible? That's a good question.
Yeah, but think about it this way. Once you invest into your army, do you have to invest more later?
Depending. Because the one thing with Warhammer that's kind of annoying, I didn't know about this when we got into, is you can have a Tau army, which is what I have, is Tau. And every 6 months to a year, they'll come out with a new rule book that could either overpower your army or nerf your army. And it changes.
Yeah.
Imagine having Magic cards that errata themselves every 6 months to a year.
Well, technically we do. It's called rotations. So realistically, if you think about it, there is a huge investment to get into Warhammer to start, but there's very low maintenance to upkeep. Yeah. So whereas the format like that is Commander in a sense for Magic. It's a high increase, high investment to get a Commander deck at times, depending on how hard down the rabbit hole you want to be, if you want to be competitive or not. It can be relatively easy to break into too. But once you have your Commander deck, you maybe replace a card or two here and there. So the upkeep is really low. So it's I don't think Warhammer is terrible because you have a high upfront cost, but you also get the enjoyment of painting your pieces and individualizing them your way. Whereas
Right.
Magic cards, you kind of can't do that, but that's where individualizing your commander deck comes in.
Right.
But I think it's one of those things where you just choose, hey, it's going to be a high upfront cost, but low maintenance. Magic, high upfront cost and high maintenance, depending on where you're at.
Especially what format, like how fast it changes, how many times you have to change your deck to stay in the format. Like standard, like I know they extended standard, but when they come out with new cards in the standard during the rotation cycle, that nerf for your deck, or you need to get a card that makes your deck better. You know, they always constantly want you upgrading your deck. Where in Commander they do the same similar thing, but it seems slower because you don't always need to upgrade your deck to stay in the competitive level you are. That's why the bracket system now exists. And I think the bracket system has been helping. It still needs perfection, trust me. But like, yeah, it's been nuts. You're right. Like the other day, we was going through a Commander deck tech, and I was looking at the price of the deck, and I'm like, it's $500 and something. I'm like, sadly, that's not a steep price for Magic Commander decks nowadays, and that's like $1,000. And trust, I did not spend that much on that deck. No. But yeah, it's crazy how much cards are worth. I mean, it's a good thing for the collector values. Like when cards like have a good price on them. I think a solid price on a card, a good Magic card is like $7. But you know, there's $20, $30, $40 cards. Plus, you got some of those $100 cards out there. But you never know who's going to print them. You never know. But anyways, whew, everybody, we just talked about a lot of stuff. And Lone Wolf hasn't even said hello.
Nope, I have not.
Well, hello, Lone Wolf.
Hello and good morning.
Ooh, echo.
I don't hear an echo.
I heard echo on my end.
Yeah, I heard it on my end.
Who's it coming from?
Lone Wolf.
Well, my guess is if you're not hearing it and me and Hillbilly are, it's probably coming from you.
Let's see.
Do I need to come back out and come back in?
Nope, I didn't hear it that time.
No, because I think what it is it was back playing through Tortoise's speakers or something like that, or his mic.
Yep.
Boop.
I didn't hear it that time. Last time Lone Wolf said anything, I didn't hear it.
Interesting. Wow. That's crazy because on my end, the loudest person here is Captain Waffles with his mic settings. Then it's Hillbilly. Then Lone Wolf is the quietest. So I don't know why Lone Wolf would echo.
I'm just loud to begin with.
You're voracious. Well, welcome, everybody.
It's called passion. More passion.
It's got more passion. Well, a lot of things going on. I got a random pack of Starburst just chilling on my desk, you know.
Cool.
Hashtag, you know, sponsor me. And don't forget, on the 26th of this month, we'll be revealing the giveaway winners. If you're not aware of the giveaway, hold on. Let me go grab the link. There's a link in the description below. Yeah, the link in the description below for the giveaway entry video. And check that out to be part of the show when you want to win the goodies. And what we're giving away is a commander deck, a bracket 2 tier commander deck worth about $200. You're getting a sweet play mat, and you're getting custom sleeves wrapped around the deck. You're getting a coffee mug like this. Yeah, and sweet tokens that are customized to the channel.
Cool.
Yeah, shipping's all paid by us, so it's all free to you. All you have to do is comment on that video your Discord name and go to Discord to the right channel and comment your YouTube name so I can pull from YouTube, double check with Discord and contact you in Discord for your mailing information, so where you want the stuff mailed to. And yes, the North Pole is a legitimate place, but I don't think it's part of the US. You got to be part of the US to enter the giveaway. And there will be 5 random people selected for just tokens, so you get customized channel tokens too.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh. So what you thinking over there, Hillbilly?
I don't know. My mind's blank right now.
Well, you know it's not blank.
Well,
Card of the day.
ooh.
The card of the
Oh.
day. Oh, I don't know why I went on this rampage. Maybe the universe is telling me Captain Waffles is going to be here. I don't know. Amulet of Quaz costs 6 mana. It's an artifact. You remove this card from your deck before you play if you're not playing for ante. You pay 0. Yeah, for ante. You pay 0, sacrifice Amulet of Quaz, flip a coin. Target opponent calls heads or tails while the coin is in the air. If the flip ends up in your favor, the opponent loses the game. Otherwise, you lose the game.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Well, I brought this card up because I don't know why ante was such a strong feeling for me today. Like I literally had to remember the ante mechanic, what it was called and everything. So I was like Googling the gambling mechanic for Magic the Gathering, and oh my lord, this came up, and I'm like, oh wow, this came up. Let's use this. And then this card, like you can't play this card in Commander. You can't play this card in Magic anymore unless you're actually playing for ante, which they do not. They do not. Wizard of the Coast does not want you to do. But this was a mechanic in the game.
It was one of the worst mechanics, the biggest mistake that they've ever made.
Uh-huh.
Whoa. Only if you're not a gambler at heart, because some people would be like, if you sucked at Magic, of course you're going to hate ante. I'm not saying anybody sucks at Magic. I'm just saying like the people that would be into that type of stuff. But
Right.
I mean, if you're not into ante, then just play Uncle.
Right. Uncle. All right. But yeah, that feeds into the picture of the day. Let's get to the picture of the day. Boom. Magic the Gathering gambling session to place bets on who wins, who has who has more cards, and who will be the first out. I don't know why I went with the gambling theme today. As a chat and chill day, I just went with it. I just had this feeling and went with it.
Buying a lottery ticket today, Tortoise?
Oh yeah, buying a lottery ticket. No, I'm kidding. I don't like gambling on anything that ain't Magic, to be honest with you. I hate spending money on something with a chance of actually getting physical nothing out of it. And I don't know why, but that's just the way I am. Maybe one day I'll buy a lottery ticket, whatever. But like the reason why I like Magic packs is because no matter if you win or lose value wise, you still got playing game pieces, and you still got your money's worth of a product, even if the product's not worth the amount you spend on a pack.
Right.
Because I look at the price of a product as the price of the product, when you buy a Magic pack. Like I don't look at the value of the cards. So when I open the cards, if I get lucky, I get lucky. If I don't, I don't. But I still got something out of it. But man, back in the day, this picture came up. This is how my friends and I used to deck build for Standard. We'd get all these cards, put them on the table, and kind of play around with ideas. And with the cards on the table, we'd play games of Magic to see how well the decks play.
Way to do it, I guess.
Oh yeah. The Gathering was like the thing in Magic back in the day. Like the Gathering was real. Like you and your friends when you're young would just hang around all day, coming up with Magic stuff, talking about Magic 24/7, going into the McDonald's to play Magic the Gathering, and eat something for food. And it was just Magic before Magic became the conglomerate that they are today. Oh yeah. Well, that's the picture of the day, my friends.
Yeah, that brings up memories. So like when I first started playing Magic, we used to have a Sunday thing where it'd be like 10 to 15 of us would show up at this Carl's Jr. down the street from our card shop because they would close at like noon.
Yeah.
and we would have a tournament at a Carl's Jr. For kind of like, because they didn't run F&M. Like this was back like before original Kamigawa. Like this was like mirrored in block. Like we would show up on a Sunday and we'd be there till like 4 or 5 in the afternoon playing. And so we'd be eating Carl's Jr. and playing Magic all day in a little tournament. I mean, you won packs and stuff, but it was fun. Like we would do our pre-releases there, like everything.
Right. And like I know they took Ante out of the game a long time ago. Like, because like when you're talking about mirrored and block, that's about the time I came into Magic. Started playing Magic before Ravnica came out, because I was into Magic when Mirrodin came out. We was playing cards from Onslaught and the old cards back then, because no one knew what standard was exactly in our area, but they let us play the cards and they were selling the cards like crazy. But I got into I seriously got into Magic when Ravnica City Guilds came out. But during that time, me and my friends, when we were bored, it was never my idea, but I jumped into it. When we play a game of Magic, they would like take out some of their like $2-3 cards of Magic Gathering. They put it on the table, and whoever won the game would walk home with all the cards. We did stuff like that, you know. But I was too cheap sometimes. Like my rares were always great, so sometimes they're like, let's do a $10 bid, and I'm like looking through my cards for commons and uncommons that added up to $10, and I put it on the table, and I'm like, I don't like that, but I'm like, I don't have anything to give other than that. But yeah, it was fun. You know, people have fun doing stuff like that. I don't know why gambling, like I said, I don't know why gambling was such a thing on my brain today. It just was like, it's part of Magic's history.
Yeah.
But
See, one of the things we used to do is when we got together and drafted,
right,
everyone put the money in for the draft, right, to buy your packs, but you didn't keep anything other than the commons and uncommons. What we would do at the end is you'd put all the rares out in the middle of the table, and whoever went like 3-0 got first pick out of all the rares, and you got to pick 2. And then after that, everybody picked 1. So that was the incentive to try to win. Was you like, say you back then, like you open a $15 rare, it was like, that was phenomenal.
That was banger.
And so if, you know, a couple of those got open, you're like, I got to win this draft so I can get first pick to take those 2.
Right.
And so we would have, you know, 4-man or 8-man drafts. And at the end, we just lay them all out on the table. And it's like, all right, your turn to pick. So you take 2, and then the next person take 1, and then 1, and then until it's all gone. But that was a fun way of like, wasn't like anti, but it was similar to it because you're putting all of the stuff in the middle.
Oh yeah. Well, one thing we used to do similar to that, but without anti, we'd actually get like 8 people to go in on a box to draft when the store wasn't drafting. We'd buy a box and just draft at our own risk, I guess you want to say. And we just have a good time. They're like back in the day, you didn't buy a box just to open up box, right? Not really. When you did that, you were rolling on taxes coming in. You know, you pick your tax money coming in. Then you buy a box to open up. But back in the day, you and your friends would go in a box, split a box, and draft it and keep whatever you keep, and just have a good old time. Well, I mean,
I was half and half. I would legit buy boxes just to open because they weren't expensive.
Right.
And then other times I would draft. So like I remember when Shadowmourne came out.
Oh, that was a good set.
I bought 2 cases of Shadowmourne. And I opened 1 whole case to myself, and then me and my buddies drafted the other case.
Yeah, I had a friend that did that with Lorwyn when it came out, and I wish I was there, but I wasn't invited. But at the same time, I had to work the next day. But they bought a case of Lorwyn, and they went to the McDonald's across the way, and they drafted all night, the whole case. You know. And then that was crazy. Lorwyn was such a good set back in the day. Lorwyn's coming out with its second block now. Next year? Next year coming up. But I don't know if they're going to hit all the same notes the original Lorwyn block did. Plus, the power creep's going to be a lot different. But like, I hope they keep up with the same themes with like elementals, giants, Kithkin, and stuff like that. I hope they keep the same themes that go together, keeping it tribal, kindred, whatever you want to call it, and go with that. Yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be fun. What do you guys think in chat? Right? Are you guys excited for Lorwyn? Are you guys wanting to go back to Lorwyn, or do you think it's too late to go back to Lorwyn? I'd like to know your thoughts and opinions.
I think it's a perfect time to go back to Lorwyn. I mean, we haven't. That's one of the planes we haven't revisited. Like we've revisited Ravnica a bunch of times, and we've done Kamigawa and a couple others. Like I think Lorwyn is a perfect time to go back to Lorwyn, especially with like how we did Wilds of Eldraine, and then we had the original Throne of Eldraine. Like that has already it's rotated out, but I still think it's on par with that. Like I feel like a lot of Eldraine was kind of taken from Lorwyn to create that set, because it is kind of fairy tale like in Lorwyn, but so it'll be interesting, but it does trigger some trauma because of blue-black fairies running rampant in Standard.
I remember fairies in Menace.
Yeah, and earlier you were talking about Standard. Older people know it as Type 2. If you know, you know.
Type 2 versus Type 1. Time Capsule, hello. Welcome to the show. Time Capsule traversed the multiverse to get here. He's the master of time, the Loki, god of stories in our realm. That's who he is. Welcome to the show. But yeah, Lorwyn I'm excited to get to. Like there's still cards from Edge of Eternities. There's still a card or two cards from Edge of Eternities I want to get. The Token Doubling Angel and the Rupture board wipe. Singularity Rupture. I want to get those two cards. There's Spider-Man. Like I wanted to touch it, but the proc was just too hot for a while, so I'm gonna have to wait for that cool down. Maybe wait for Christmas. Lorwyn is actually said I am excited about because nostalgia. Nostalgia bites in the butt. I bought like 6 boxes of Shadowmoor when it came out, but because who knows what this is going to be? This is probably going to be a one-time set. Like it ain't probably going to be an actual block, which I wish they would bring back as block sets. Right, block sets would be nice. That would make more sense to the 2-month rotation or 2-month drop when they come out. Like every 2 months a new set comes out. If they were blocks, that would make more sense. Like you got block 1 coming out here, block 2 coming out here, you got block 3 coming out here. Now let's wait an extra month, 3 months, and start over again. With a new set. That would be interesting, but I'm not with.
Well, I can tell you why it's not going to come back that way, and I can tell you the reason what killed it. Universes Beyond. You cannot have blocks with Universes Beyond because Universes Beyond are singular type sets.
Right.
And so if you're going to do blocks, you got to find a way that the Universes Beyond fits in the block. And if it doesn't, then you just continue this, jumping back and forth. I mean, when you had Masters set, like back when they did blocks and they brought out like Eternal Masters or Modern Masters, those were specialty sets and it was easier to do. So Universes Beyond is now a standard thing. So you can no longer do blocks and a specialty Universe Beyond set. It just doesn't flow. So that's why we're never going to go back unless they get rid of one or the other.
Right. Well, I got a question to ask you soon, but really quick, I want to shout out Cody Hills. He says, yes, bring back the blocks and the core sets. Well, Foundations is kind of the core set, but yes, I wish core sets were back in style. I do. And I would like Foundations is perfect for the core set thing. I just wish they actually formed it around the standard rotation instead of being 5 years and standard being 3 years, which makes no flipping sense. They did what they did. Foundations is a good set, so let's hope they keep up that stride as Foundations. Anyways, so have you ever grotted a shower or tile before, Captain Waffles?
Yes, I have.
All right. So you know how you lay the tile down? To me, that should be like the set rotation. Like every 2 months they do that for the block system. And all their subsidiary sets like Universes Beyond is the grot that you put in between the tiles to kind of put everything together. That's my metaphor of thinking how the system should work. Like they should have a core system for standard. And I know Universe Beyond is a standard now, but they could route that in there into the grain of the solidarity of the set system, because they already do that in a way with secret layers or some special thing they decided to do because you want it or they worked hard on it, whatever Morrow says, but who knows anymore. That's how I think about it, because Universes Beyond is interesting. It's what's selling right now. I think there's a little bit of a backlash on Spider-Man right now because the rent was too damn high for collector boosters, and even though people did pay for it, but the cost of collector boosters is going down to more of a reasonable-ish price. And I say reasonable-ish because $600 is still a lot for 12 packs, but reasonable-ish price. People are realizing the set seems rushed. People are realizing the set feels incomplete, like when it comes to synergies, like cards that make synergies. But people are enjoying the set for the artwork and the characters and stuff. So, it's interesting. It's right now. It just feels like Wizards can't fail at making the Universes Beyond, even though Spider-Man, I'm excited for it. The cards I'd like to get from it. I'd love to build a Spider-Man deck kind of thing, but there's no real in set mechanics that really build out some of the effects, like web slinging. There's not a lot of cantrippy things that work with creatures leaving the battlefield or entering the battlefield with the web slinging ability, not in the set, because that'd be cool if they did that. Like the secret layers would have been cool if they did that, if they made cards that made web slinging better, but they didn't. Even if it's reprinting cards, like Beast Whisperer would have been a great Craven card in the secret layer for creatures entering the battlefield or the casted, or things like that.
Didn't they do a Universes Beyond set mechanic for Assassin's Creed? Or am I?
All right, so you're touching on something that has to be discussed. Really quick, Tibalts Apprentice says, so many sets, Spider-Man feels shoehorned in the MTG. That's right. So they did Assassin's Creed, and they sold it as packs, only packs on shelves, right? Not booster boxes, but packs.
No, I'm talking about there was a set mechanic. Oh. Wasn't there? Something it wasn't Raid, but it was something else that kind of picked on being an assassin type thing. I forget what it is. I'm gonna have to look it up, but that's why I'm bringing this up, because they did web slinging with Spider-Man, and I get the idea behind doing a set mechanic for a specific Universe Beyond, but at the same time it makes it awkward to try to integrate it into other sets later on, and now you've got this pigeonholed mechanic that you really can't do much with in other sets, unless they were we'll have spiders as a creature type have this mechanic, but then now you're pigeonholing it to just one creature type.
Right.
I mean, Changeling is that type of thing where it's a one creature quote unquote mechanic, but they're every creature, so it kind of fits. But doing this, it's Tibalts said, it's shoehorned, and you're getting one dynamic that can't be integrated into anything else in the game. So if they're gonna do something like that, they need to not name it so specific to the set, but make it have the feel of what they're It should have the feel of quote unquote web slinging, but it should be called something else.
Right. So the mechanics in Assassin's Creed is you had free running, where you have historic returning, you have disguise mechanic returning, and you had cloak.
Free running was the one I was trying to think of. That is nowhere else in Magic. That was specific to Assassin's Creed.
Right. And so, yeah, free running. Yeah, everybody guessed it while I was looking at it. Nice. So yeah, free running. Yeah, web slinging is a viable mechanic. It's an alternate casting cost if you return a tapped creature to your hand. But they made no, like, for that mechanic in the set, they never made a payoff for it. They never made, like, impact trimmers would have been a good in-set card for it, where you ping your opponents for damage when a creature into the battlefield. When a creature left the battlefield, having a trigger for that, because you're having a tap creature leave the battlefield. They didn't make a synergistic mechanic or card or cards that would have made web slinging a little bit better.
Well, web slinging is what, like a pseudo half ninjutsu is what it feels like. Pseudo
half ninjutsu is probably giving it more grace. The ring mechanic too. Yeah, you're right. The ring mechanic from Lord of the Rings.
So here, yeah, that is another one. But here's my thought on that. Like, yes, they didn't put cards in there to quote unquote support it because one, they already existed in other sets. So when they build a set, it isn't because they don't do blocks anymore. They don't have to have the set be able to be a standalone and integrate with its block counterparts like they used to do when they did block constructed.
Right.
But the web slinging mechanic, it does have some merit because with some of the cards that you can bounce back that are double faced and you can cast them for either or, it makes it to where if you casted it for its cheaper cost, you web sling it back and then you bring it in at the higher cost to get more value off of triggers and other things or its own ability. So that's where I can see where they didn't want to overdo it, but it may also still feel underwhelming.
Right. A coach says it seems like they had these type of mechanics before. It's intentional so they don't break their game. And look, it's not about breaking the game because, like, ninjutsu is a fine mechanic. They could have done a mechanic like ninjutsu for Spider-Man. Web slinging, I think, should have been able to put a creature in during an attacking phase like ninjutsu, but they didn't. It's
you can call it spits jitsu or something.
Spits jitsu, right? Because the creature has to be tapped, and then like not all Spider-Man have flash, and I'm assuming timing restrictions apply when you cast the web slinging ability. You know. Because it's a cast. It's like Bestow. It's still a cast. It's just changing the spell.
Yep.
Which I think they should have used Bestowed for the Venom mechanic. That would have been awesome. Like if they renamed the mechanic Bestow and just put it on a non-enchantment creature that turns it into enchantment when it's on a creature, would have been interesting. Maybe the text is too much, but people are familiar with Bestow, and to have a Venom be able to bestow a creature and basically and give them heightened abilities like +1 something and some whatever ability that's already attached to the card. That would have been interesting.
Well, yeah, you can call it like symbiosis or something, and then it's similar to bestow. And then if it falls off, you can with symbiosis instead of bestow it falling off and turning into a creature, it falls off, and if you have another creature, you can attach it.
Right, or they could like if it fell off the creature and went back to your hand because you know most symbiotes are not super powerful when they hit the battlefield. So you'd be like, oh, if this enchantment would die or this symbiosis would die, return to its owner's hand, or have it like the reconfigure ability, which is a solid ability from Kamigawa. Yeah. There's so many things they could have done, but Spider-Man. If you weren't paying attention to the spoiler seasons and stuff when they were talking about it, Spider-Man was supposed to be like Assassin's Creed. It was supposed to be a small set sold only in packs, but Assassin's Creed didn't do well. They wanted Spider-Man to do better, so they shoehorned in cards to make the set bigger, so they could actually sell it in boxes. It's still a relatively small set for a standard set. But it's still a set. You can buy it in a booster box or a collector box. Interesting.
Yep.
Interesting. But hey, that was a gamble that they were willing to take. And look, the artwork is selling the cards. People are loving the artwork, digging the artwork. I'm digging the artwork. Oh, man. I got a Spider-Man shirt that has the Todd McFarlane art on Arachnogenesis in the set. So cool. Walmart was selling that shirt, by the way. Check your Walmart for a Spider-Man shirt. It's pretty dope.
I mean, I like the set in a whole. Like, I don't have any real like problems with it, other than the fact that it's stupidly overpriced.
Right.
Because of the FOMO that people are creating around it, and the collectors that are coming in to buy it just to collect. And I've preached this for years, and I'll continue to preach it. Like, first of all, if you can't afford it, don't buy it. Second of all, just wait. Like, once the hype dies down and people are over it, I mean, it's hard. It's harder now than ever to kind of go that route. Because if you look at like Final Fantasy, Lord of the Rings, some of the best-selling sets, they didn't really die down much, but they did level to a point where it was kind of affordable at one point.
Right.
And I think the biggest issue is know what you're going for. Like, if you only want specific cards, just buy the specific cards. But if you're going to draft it and have fun and make an experience out of it, yeah, buying a play booster box makes sense because you're going to have some fun. It's just tailor it to what you're expecting and what you want.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Cody says, to me, the interesting part of Spider-Man was no commander decks, given the amount of commander players these days. Well, for what we know, it's supposed to be like Assassin's Creed deck, set, not deck, like Assassin's Creed set, or it's supposed to be just packs. Then they were just going to, so they changed the set at the end to make a big box set. They probably didn't have enough time to design a commander deck and get the rights for the art and stuff. That's what it sounds like.
Yep.
Honestly, I think it's good they didn't make a commander deck. And the reason why is people are getting commander fatigued. Like, there's people out there that, yes, they want to buy the commander decks. I get it. But there are also people out there like going, oh my God, another commander deck with the exact same cards as the last commander decks and all this other. Like, I think you can make commander cards without having commander decks.
Well,
and they could have done that.
That's what they did in the set for sure.
And that, I feel like, is a much better route to go, because people will get, it's almost like when you hear the same thing over and over and over and over and over, you tune it out. Same thing when you see the same thing over and over and over, you start to tune it out. So I think if they were to be more sporadic with their commander decks, it would have a lot more flair and a lot more like excitement to it for people that want to play commander on that level. Like, Modern Horizons 3 should have never had commander decks. I'm sorry, but it just never should have. It's a modern set with commander decks. Like, that makes no sense.
Right. Well, that made no sense for sure. That was one of my little gripes about the set. But Modern Horizons 3 was a solid set, obviously, because they had a ban cards and it was powered up modern. Coach's Magic says it's expensive because people are willing to spend their hard-earned money on a price gouge box. Some people are. That's the problem with why price spikes work in the world of the secondary market. People are willing to pay for it. That's
one side of the coin.
Well, like I said, like so many times, it bothers me. There's been times where people would complain about the price of the Magic the Gathering, and there would be people complaining on YouTube, like social media, about the prices, but are willing to spend the money for content, And people are like, "Oh, this is too much, and this is too expensive." Da 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 da. Then all of a sudden, look, I got like 3 booster boxes. I'm like, you're part of the problem. Thank you.
Well, there are some content creators out there like Joey Moss and a couple others that are sponsored by local shops that are going to open the boxes anyways.
Yeah.
And so they will let them open the box for content, and then they return everything back to the store for the owner to sell. So I know there are some people out there that do it that way, and it's a smart, very smart model. But the people out there that are spending money to do the content, in my opinion, it's like, I would have to justify that with, I'm probably making enough through YouTube and some other stuff to break even or make a little bit of a profit on views for it to be justified. But someone like my channel, I do that, it's like, there's no way it's going to even come close to breaking even. So then again, it comes into the fact of like Coach Magic says, yes, people are willing to spend their money. But the other side of that coin is, you got people that are seeing the value of it and want to scalp and make money. So that's the two sides to the coin. And when it's basically like, think of a coin that's spinning. Since both sides keep the momentum going, that coin just keeps spinning. It doesn't stop.
Right. Yeah, I think I call this era of Magic the whatnot era. Whatnot just being a big factor, but not the only factor. Well, the social media era where people are buying product to sell online and open up for people. A lot of people are doing that. In fact, there's been other creators who brought that up, where we live in an era where people will buy product to resell and open on their social medias, or just open on the social medias. Because yes, isn't it exciting to watch someone open $1,000 Spider-Man collector booster box and then talking, did we make our money back? Like being the title. People are doing that just so they get the views and clicks, right?
Yep.
You know, it's like TikTok for YouTube and whatnot and stuff. Like people are opening products for shock value now because like, oh, I got $1,000 box. Look, if I had $1,000 box of Spider-Man, you guaranteed and bet your butt I would open that on stream.
Mm-hmm.
And Coach is a good analogy to you, Waffles.
Yeah, and like I love to live vicariously through other people opening boxes. Like that's my way of like, hey, I can't afford opening boxes. But you know what? If someone else is going to open it and I get to watch, cool. Like that's like a pseudo dopamine hit for me, because like now I get to see like what are they going to pull out of that pack? That's cool. But I've learned to understand that for me personally, I don't have that kind of capital to buy boxes. But if somebody else does and they're willing to share it, I'm all for it.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. Like I've been enjoying the Spider-Man. I love the treatments on the card. I won't lie. The comic book treatments they're doing. Some cards are hit and miss on the treatment they decided to go for it. But like some of the artworks, the comic book artwork just looks beautiful on a Magic card. We got Real Wiz saying James Carter, LAPD. Hello. But yeah, like for sure, there is value in watching these openings for sure. But like this just, you know, what I'm saying is like, you know, when it comes to the price of a set or a price of Magic going up and up, people complaining about it doesn't matter, because people who are complaining about it are also buying it. You know, it's kind of like going to work, right? With your social media content. You know, you go to work, like, I don't want to go to work. I don't want to flip burgers or do something or whatever you do for a living. You know, it's like, oh, I open Magic product for a living now, and I got to pay a heftier price for it. And I think part of it is we don't understand how fast print run is, because back in the day, when Magic was released like every 3 months and slower, they were able to get a fixed amount of cards printed for a certain price. That was guaranteed. Like, you know, if we got this many boxes being printed before we did a reprint set, we're paying this exact amount. Now, for how fast they're making sets, we don't know how much the printing companies are charging, because they're like, we're just making the printers go burr. We got to keep up on the ink and the paper and the stock and everything. Yep. You know, we don't understand that. We don't know those logistics to understand what the price of cost, because not only is that happening, people at Wizards of the Coast, they're getting their annual raises, yearly raises. People are getting promoted. People are getting different jobs in the company. We know for a fact that people who design Magic cards are doing other games too. They're designing other games too. So we don't know what the whole thing is, what they're doing. You know, it's interesting to understand that nowadays compared to back in the day when you thought a Magic designer just did Magic cards. Nope, they do a lot more different things. So there's a lot of unknowns to the public eye that we do not know. It's dangerous.
Yeah, and that's. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Coach's Magic says it's dangerous when people are primarily using their product to make money and not to naturally enjoy it or use it. That's right.
Yeah. So on those logistic facts, that's completely true. Like, there's a lot of factors that we don't see or understand completely with all of that to where it does raise price. But I also believe that Wizards was very smart with this marketing tactic of creating lots of sets quickly to create a false scarcity, because they have to print all these different sets and try to keep up and all this other stuff. So it's a false scarcity of like, they can do more. They can print more by focusing on one set at a time like they used to.
Right.
But if they continue to pump stuff out, so like for instance, back when original Rab block came out, that's all they were printing because that's what was out. So when you've got, let's say for numbers sake here, right? You've got 100 printers.
Right.
I don't know how many they have, but we're going to go with 100 printers, right? And all 100 printers are focusing on Ravnica. The supply is much larger that can come out at one given time. Now, let's say you got the same 100 printers, but you're printing 4 sets. Now you've got 25 printers on each one of these sets. You've now reduced the amount of product you're putting out by 75% on one product. So you're creating this false scarcity that doesn't exist because you're just not able to print fast enough, when really you could if you were to buckle down and narrow and focus on a set.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're right. It is hard to get narrowly focused. One thing about pricing and stuff I've learned lately, because I watch toy collectors and collectors of different hobbies, because, like a human being, Magic the Gathering is not the only thing I'm interested in the world, So I watch different things on toy collecting and stuff like that. Like even DVD collecting. That's coming back, collecting DVDs and physical media. It is. And it's interesting because even video game collecting's on it, like classic video games. And it's YouTube and social media. That includes Instagram, TikTok, so on and so forth. People saying, look what I bought. Drawing attention to this particular item. Toy, Xbox, album, whatever, and that gets like 1,000 views, and those 1,000 views are people being like, oh, I want to go find that. Let's go to a yard sale. Let's find that, and that 1,000 views grows to 2,000 views, and 2,000 views go to 3,000 views, and people are interested in the stuff that they're buying because it's nostalgic and everything, showing how exciting it was, and people are finding it, clearing out the secondary market. People are becoming aware of pricing, so they're changing the prices to match up the demand. Because people are watching this are not just people interested in, they're just randomly people strolling through social media, finding out that social media is transforming how much something is going. Because like you remember back in the day when Magic content creators were far few in between, and someone would talk about a specific card that was good in the format, that busted in the format, and that conversational topic would raise the price of the card of that card for whatever format because people are interested in it.
Yep.
It brought people's eyes onto it, and that's kind of what the collecting market is doing. That's what social media is doing. And I think that's part of the reason why things are going that route. Because social media has transformed not only collecting but buying the collectibles you want. Right. Coach's Magic says the printing delays or issue are just a distraction, so you don't think they are intentionally distributing below demand, right? That's a good thought process.
Yeah. And you bring up a really good point with the social media thing, because like, let's step away from Magic for a second. Look at Pokemon. Like Pokemon is not one of those like highly played, like, yes, they have the World Championship and all this other stuff, but you don't see videos on competitive Pokemon. You see it on the collecting, the vendors at shows, them making these ridiculously trades and all this other stuff. And then you see the people at Costco that are fucking scalping like millions of these things. Like I literally watched this at my Costco the other day. I watched like 10 people go into Costco, walk out to their car, put 2 boxes of whatever the specialty thing is, walk right back in, buy 2 more, walk out, and in a span of like 20 minutes, the entire pallet was gone. Like it was insane to watch.
Right.
Yeah, and it's because of social media, the whatnot. Like they're cracking these packs, they're chasing the secret rares, like all this stuff, and then they're price gouging, like because stores are selling out. Like all of the Fred Meyers, like the supermarket stores that have these little Pokemon vending machines, they're always sold out. And if they aren't, there's a dude standing in front of it buying everything in it with his credit card or whatever, and it's become this insatiable appetite because of social media.
Right. Social media is feeding the bonfire of this. And yes, I agree with that 100%. But my friends, take a breath, relax, and just realize we reached this point.
Hit that subscribe button. Become a part of the creep.
Too much to take. Show is lit. MTG3, are you game? Rise, creep, rise, building a following as we gain. Spitting fire like a dragon, no one can bring us down. MTG3 in the house, we own this town. Ripping through the beats with a fury.
Oh, for the longest time. No, I'm kidding. We reached the shill section, thrill section. It means we're at the end of the show. I want to thank you guys for being here, but we're going to let Cat the Waffles, Lone Wolf, and Hillbilly shill. But we're going to start with the Lone Wolf.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for having me on. And let's help support everybody here. And let's get Tortoise and Hillbilly up to 1,500 subscribers.
Whoa. Let's go. Thank you for being on here. We appreciate you. Yes, and with that, we're going to Captain Waffles.
So I don't have much to shill. I've been busy. I'm actually moved all my stuff into like a new office area and trying to get all that set up for if and when I start doing some more videos. I've had a lot of stuff going on, so it's been just really focusing on myself. But I want to put some stuff out there. I might be leaning away from Magic. I'm not sure yet. I mean, I'll still do Magic content, but I don't think I'm going to be as heavy on it as I was before.
Mm-hmm.
Just because of the dynamic of what's happening in Magic and how it's resonating with me. And some of the things I'm feeling called to be more towards. So, I mean, I'll still put out some videos, my thoughts on sets and things like that, but I don't know if I'll be putting out a lot of like gameplay stuff or anything really arena based for a while. But I will continue to play and kind of dabble and see what's going on in the world. So, but been focusing more on the books that I'm writing. So yeah, that's more of a project that I'm focused on.
Sounds good. Well, we wish you good luck on your adventure on how you traverse the changes.
Hey, everybody. I've done some little changes this morning to my channel. Just like this morning, I did not do arena. I actually scanned some cards, scan some of my collection, and there's going to be some changes to the channel. That's one change is I'm not going to be into arena as much as I have been. And just like this afternoon, it's going to be spontaneous. I may end up playing Path of Exile. I may end up playing arena, or I may end up scanning some more cards for my collection, trying to get my collection scanned. Dag-blagged, I got a bunch of cards. Anyway, so my channel is going to be, pretty much spontaneous now. So if you want to check out some spontaneous content, come on by.
I gotta say, it's kind of funny because as you're talking, the wife is in the background appearing a little bit here and there, like a magic trick.
Mhm.
All right, everybody. Today's Super Fast Tortoise. There is supposed to be a Commander game tonight. I don't know what deck I'm playing, so I didn't make a thumbnail yet. It's going to be somewhere between bracket 3 and 4, probably bracket 3, but we'll get there. If you're part of Discord, be a part of the Discord. Right, so when we ask for anybody who wants to play a Commander game, they can jump in and have fun, right? If you want to be part of the Commander game, yes. And also, if things go well today, there should be another live video between now and then about some mail opening. So let's see how that goes. With that, my friends, I want to thank you guys for being here. And everybody here on the show. We got Dictative Erebos, Lone Wolf, and Captain Waffles. Thank you for being here. Everybody in chat, you rock, you roll. Thank you for chatting with us and enjoying the content. Please like the video, share the video. If you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel because we do content like this every Monday through Friday. With that, my friends, I want to remind you that you're loved. Someone's thinking about you. And if you can, say and or do something positive for someone else because you might be the change they need today. And with that, my friends, I want to thank you, my channel members. Yes, channel members. Yes, I want to thank my subscribers for everything you guys do because the channel members and subscribers grow the channel, help the channel in ways that you just don't fully understand how amazing it is what you guys do. And with that, let's get to the end things. I want to thank you, channel members of the channel, for supporting this creep the way you do. You are awesome. And you subscribers, everybody that subscribes, you're doing amazing too. Thank you very much for all that you do.
Start the morning with coffee in your cup. Time to hang out with friends and chat it up. Bring a smile and good luck. Hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me. Good morning, welcome to the morning coffee show.